From beginning to end, did this feel like maybe the most connected, most structured game you guys have played this season?
Good support. Yeah, and offensively, arrivals, offensive zone. We did some more forechecking. We had to make up for our last game where we did none. So it was much better tonight.
It seems like there's no hesitation with this group, not just with Maffei, but with other guys to jump in and stick up for one another. Is that something that maybe is talked about, or does it just sort of happen organically because of what you're building here, and how much does that encourage you? When that's
Well, I always talk about our room, and that's a huge part of it. That has just come together. If there's one thing that's come together in our rebuild here, it's that. And we subtracted people, and I always preface this with really good people. It just was not the right time for those guys being here. I think that was probably one of the biggest things that we did to start this rebuild, was try to figure out where we're going to go with people, and some guys that just weren't going to be part of it. And the room has just grown that way. So what you're talking about, sticking up for one another, doesn't surprise me. We don't talk about it, they just do it, because that's what that room is.
What does that teach a guy like Maffei, who's seen Sean Couturier jump in for him, sees Konechny jump in for him, Eric Johnson the other night? What does that tell him? How does that help him now?
Yeah. He's a 19-year-old kid, and he's got some jam to him. I don't want him to put these guys in a lot of different situations when it's not needed. But when we did talk about that when we had the two young kids, the two teenagers, that people have to jump in that type of situation. And, I don't think he's going to hesitate to take care of himself either eventually here. I think he feels pretty comfortable in those type of situations. He'll be able to take care of himself also.
We've talked to you quite a few times this week about Travis Sanheim, but he just keeps having an impact every game. I guess, for you as a coach, watching him, become this level of player, did you see this coming in him over the long term?
Well, you know how I felt about him my first year. I did not see any of this, and I hope Hockey Canada is watching, because if that guy isn't on that team, when they pick that team, I'm not sure what the date is, he's just been so impressive. You watch him play, but just how he carries himself. I know I always talk about that, but I think that's very important to how the players present themselves. And he's taken off. He's got a level of confidence that it's outstanding. Yeah, I watched him turn around. I watched Yorkie, my first year with Yorkie. I don't know if he wanted to play in the National Hockey League the way he was to me, but Sandy's just taken it to a different level.
He called, the word he used was tough love. If you can think back, what was missing from him then that you were seeing now?
The way I look at Sandy when I first saw him, he was a good skating boy. He skated well. To me, there was nothing else to his game. I don't think he defended hard. I just didn't see a whole hell of a lot other than his skating ability, which sticks out. But he has grown, and there's more there. He's impressive, and for me, watching on the sidelines, it's really fun to watch a guy grow like that.
This was the third straight win for you guys. You guys have won 7 out of the last 11 now, gotten points in 8 of them. Do you feel like this is kind of the building block that you were trying to get start of the season, or is it just kind of thing where everything's finally going right for you guys, and you guys are getting into it now?
Well, I think we're playing better. The biggest thing is that we're playing in fives, and the two biggest things that we worked on when we were all disjointed was playing in fives and making sure we see a third guy high all the time, because that allowed us to play on our toes. That allowed us to check forward, and that's been a lot more consistent in our game. But look how we played against Ottawa. It comes and goes. I was asked a question about, I think it was out in Ottawa, about why teams aren't consistent. It's concentration level, and That's something that the athletes and coaching staff have to keep reminding ourselves that we have to try to get better each and every day, because it goes quickly, comes back, goes quickly. The teams that get there in the end and the teams that become just who they are, who they want to be, are the ones that do it consistently. I don't think we've crossed that bridge yet. We're 18 games into it, and we've been up and down. We've steadied ourselves, but there's still a little ways to go here.
I know you said
Speaking
you
about
I know you said you
consistency
don't.
speaking about consistency with Travis Konechny, he's now, I think, in a 6-game point streak. I mean, how much of an engine is he for your offense at this point?
Oh, he's a huge part of our team offensively, killing penalties, energy. He's a really good player, and with the team that still trying to find themselves offensively, he's been a mainstay right on through this. So he's been a very important guy when we're waiting for other guys to get going. I thought Tyson, you can see Tyson's game. He's not because he scores a goal, but the stick battles and the one-on-one battles. That's a huge part of his game. You can see that coming. Tip is still a little inconsistent, but until we get those guys going, TK has to carry it. Misha's been pretty consistent offensively. TK's always there. He's always there in all facets of the game for us.
I know you said you're very hands-off when it comes to penalties, but sort of how you didn't think Sanheim would kind of regain a level of trust with Ivan the way he's played the last 3 or 4 games. Do you have a different level of trust in him now that obviously that maybe wasn't there at the beginning of the season?
Still a small sample size. He's played really well 3 games. It was here to here, but he's going to have to continue. This is 5 or 6 games for him, and I think he certainly feels more comfortable. To me, he's more competitive. He looks the part. He didn't even look the part his first starts. He looks the part now, so he's just going to stay within himself and keep on playing.
So Mola has kind of quietly found his game over the last 2 or 3 games. Is he giving you guys a good decision here?
Little by little, yeah, little by little. We're gonna I'm not sure what Emil is. He went out. I'm not sure what that is yet, and eventually we're gonna have to make some decisions here when Yorkie comes back. Z has the biggest thing, and it's a constant conversation that he and I have, is just the speed of the game. How he gets caught from behind a lot. He doesn't see the play quick enough to move it. The speed of his mind, that's what I think needs to improve in his game, but he's getting better.